With the frenzy of spawning season now behind us, the carp are starting to get their appetites back. But things can be a little bit different post-spawn. In this video, we are going to deep dive into the best baits and a few key tactics to help you bank some beautiful carp now that they've finished spawning. After the energy expenditure of spawning, carp often prefer easily digestible baits as they look to replenish their reserves without expending too much energy on digestion. So what works well? Pellets are fantastic. They break down relatively easy and generally offer good nutritional value. Often, pre-soaking them can make them even more appealing and digestible. Sweetcorn is a classic for a reason. It's easily digestible and the carp love it. You can use it straight on a hook, in a mix, or even fermented. Don't overlook smaller particles like hemp, which are easy for them to digest and can keep them grubbing around in your swim. And if you're a boilie fan, consider using some smaller sizes, say 10 to 15mm. These can also be readily accepted by the fish post-spawn. Now that the rigours of spawning are behind them and their appetites begin to return, you can also often fish comfortably over much larger quantities of these digestible baits and really draw them in. While digestibility is key, we also need to consider how we present our baits. Carp can become wise to tactics that have been heavily used throughout the spring. When fishing over particles like hemp and larger amounts of bait, consider using slightly shorter rigs. The fish are often moving slower and feeding close to the lake bed when grazing on smaller items. A shorter hook length can lead to better hook holds. Many carp will have been caught throughout the spring on brightly coloured hook baits, and they can become wary of these specific presentations. So opting for a match the hatch style hook bait, those that blend well in with your loose feed, can often be more effective at this time. It's not just about the bait, of course. Location is always crucial. Post-spawn, you might find carp in shallower areas where the water warms up quickly, or near weed beds where they can find natural food and recover. You can often introduce larger amounts of the digestible baits we discussed earlier to really hold their attention in your swim. However, we also might want to think about those more subtle presentations, maybe in the margin edge or in the snags. Obviously you wouldn't use as much bait in these situations as in the middle of the lake. This is because the feeding response might not quite be as aggressive as it is out in open water. Post-spawning in the summer months are the perfect time for these type of tactics. To summarise our post-spawning approach, we're looking at easily digestible baits like smaller pellets, sweetcorn and particles such as hemp, and smaller boilies. Now is a good time to fish over larger quantities of bait. When it comes to hook baits, consider matching the hatch to avoid spooking potential wary fish. And with rigs, especially over particle, shorter can be better. We hope these tips help you put more carp on the bank after the spawning period. Every lake can be different, dependent on stock and angling pressure, etc. Using these tips and considering them in your fishing style will help you unlock the secret to catching more carp after their spawning break. Let us know in the comments what your go-to baits and tactics are for this time of year, and if you have any success in applying these tactics, we would love to hear about it. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe for more fishing tips and hit that notification bell so you don't miss out on the next one. Tight lines everyone.